Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Real DIY. Today's project, well, it sees me reunited with this. It's my ancient B&Q router. We call it a router in the UK, not a router. Something I haven't used for more than 15 years, and the task at hand is to route out to engrave the words book exchange into a bookcase. It's part of a local community initiative to get people sharing their books and thereby reading a bit more. Keep watching. It might not be pretty, but it will be real. And I hope at the end of it, I've still got all 10 fingers intact. Let's see how we get on. Right, first things first, we need to get a couple of straight lines in so that we can get the letters in all evenly spaced and straight. Now we know that we want the letters to be a certain height. We know that this is 250 millimeters. So if we say 250 and we want the letters to be 100, that leaves 150 mil. Divide that by 2, 75 mil. So that means that from the top and the bottom we need to measure 75. So 75 there. 75 there. Forgive the noise overhead. I think there's an airflow on somewhere today. This is the bit where it gets a little bit squeaky bum time, because I've got to try and fit the words book and exchange in that limited amount of space. It's unscientific. I'm going to do it freehand. Watch me make a mess of it. So this is where the B is. B. Oh crikey, that already. B. O. O. Book. What do you reckon? Am I going to get exchange in there? Let's have a good go. E, too big. C, H, A, N, G, E. Right, I think I can make that work. It's not perfect, it's just to give me a rough idea, and actually I do want a bit of a rustic look to this, because you know it's imperfect and it's me, a complete novice DIYer with some dangerous kit, having a go. Right, now I need to think about how I'm going to get the depth right for the router. I don't know what size router bit I've got in, but it's the one that I last used 15 years ago for doing something similar, and it worked fine. Right, because I do real DIY and I don't have infinite resources. I don't have a jig for my router. I don't have a router table, etc. So doing things really accurately in terms of measuring the depth of the letters, etc., it's going to require a little bit of lateral thinking. So this is going to involve a drill and a drill bit. Let me show you what's involved. Right, in my very Heath Robinson way of working, what I've established is that this drill bit is about the same size as, or same diameter as this router bit. So what I intend to do is to drill a hole here, or at a starting point of each of the letters. So here, or here, or here, etc., etc. And then using the gauge on the router, which is set with this lever here, you push this up and down until you get the right depth. I can set it and fix the depth so that we will get some uniformity throughout the letters. Right. Being a safe and sensible sort of real DIYer, you would normally have some kind of protective eyewear on. I don't see very well because I'm very old, so I've got my reading glasses on. I know how much depth I've got here, so I'm just going to start with a little sort of pilot hole at the beginning of the B, and that should enable me to start the routing process. So what I will do then is establish the depth of that there. That's the depth of the drill. I'm going to lock it off here, turn it around. Right, here comes the fun bit. Don't laugh if it all goes wrong. And that is the B. I actually don't think that's too bad. It's a bit scruffy. It's a hard wood I'm working in here, but actually I think I can tidy that up. Well, here's another update. Me being a bit of an idiot when it comes to these things, I've realised that starting at the bottom I'm going away and I'm not able to see the shape as I use the router, so I'm going to actually reverse that, start at the top. Right, well, I'm okay because it's quite rustic. I'm just finishing off the E. See what you think. Well, I spelt the word correctly, so that's a bonus. I've got a little bit cramped up here. It's alright. I'm just going to smooth these off now. What I have noticed is it's taken off a lot of the new wood stain here. Anyway, I'm just going to go and smooth things off a little bit. Here we go. Well, there's the book exchange. Oh yeah, well, okay. Could be worse. What I'm just annoyed about all this having blistered off. I must have put it on too thick, not let it set properly. So what I'm going to do now is, by the way, anybody still got a Black & Decker workmate? You can't buy them anymore, and I think they're absolutely brilliant. So yeah, now I'm going to have to sand all this here, sand up all that wet stain, or not properly dried stain, redo that. And then I'm going to do all the lettering with a black wood stain. It'll be alright. Just get all the rough edges up here, and then I'll have to blow out all the dust on the middle. This is the boring bit. Sanding, getting all the dust out. Got to be done. A bit broken there. Anyway, this is another real DIY project that is about 60% of the way through. It's far from perfect. In fact, you're probably watching this thinking, what a blithering idiot, what a mess he's made of it. Well, yeah, maybe you're right. But I'm just feeling my way through these projects, and in this case it's a good cause to help the community. Right, for the lettering, because I'm a good recycler, I'm going to be using this, some Saddlin ebony which I had left over. I'm going to be brushing out the letters with this, the detailing brush, and the painting itself with this, a tiny little child's paintbrush. I'm just brushing out the letters. Done, that'll do. Saddlin extra durable wood stain, good stuff. Did the front door with this. Tiny little brush and glasses on because I can't see very well, being ancient. And then just into the letters we go. I have to do all around the sides. It's quite a painstaking job, but it's worth it because it makes the letters really pop. Right, well, you won't want to watch this because watching paint dry is not much fun, is it? Right, well, as anyone who does real DIY will tell you, you need a plan B. This is my plan B. I decided the black lettering wasn't going to work, so I got out my African walnut. That's a kind of paint by wood stain, by the way, and decided that because the lettering was so deep, it would all look fine in this colour. So that's what I've done. Sanded it down, another coat on. It's a sunny day, so I'm just going to leave that to harden, particularly in the letters. I'll leave that to dry. Actually, a little bit more here. I'm not sponsored by Saddlin, by the way. It's so expensive, but it is good stuff. And most of the woodwork on my house is stained in Saddlin. Nay, not most, all of the woodwork. So this is plan B in action, which all real DIYers will know is a virtue to have a plan B, sometimes a plan C, and do you know what? I think I've gone to plan E and F before now. Right, stop getting impatient, because I'm a very impatient DIYer. Let's leave that for a few hours, come back to it. So here we are, a few hours later. We've let it dry, sanded it again, put another coat of saddling African walnut on, and like any good real DIYer, I've done a bit of improvising. I got the router out again and extended these bits of the E, so it's narrowed the gap a little bit between the E and the X. So it's pretty much ready to be installed now. Just need to give it a bit of a clean up, put the glass doors in place, take it up to the village hall, and hopefully people can understand what a book exchange is, and you'll get some good use. Anyway, next time you see us, we will be at the village hall with this project installed. So there you have it, another completed real DIY project that saw me reunited with my router for the first time in 15 years. It's certainly not perfect, but it is real, and most importantly, I'm still connected to these. Thanks for watching, more videos coming soon.